Arvala-7. A desolate, forgotten world, its cracked mud plains and jagged canyons stretching endlessly under the burning gaze of twin suns. The dry wind howled through the Rocky Mountains, whispering tales of blood and battle across the barren landscape. The planet, treacherous and harsh, was no place for the weak. But for Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, it was just another battlefield. Mandalorian, known throughout the galaxy as a relentless and skilled bounty hunter, had come to Arvala-7 for one purpose: to track down a rebel leader who had been stirring unrest in the Outer Rim. This wasn't new to him. Clad in his signature Beskar armor, his helmet concealing his face, the Mandalorian was a symbol of mystery and fear. His blaster, his jetpack, and his unyielding determination were enough to get him through the toughest of battles. But this hunt was different. There was something else on this planet, something watching him from the shadows, and soon he would realize that his prey was not the only danger. Above, cloaked in near invisibility, a figure silently observed. The assassin predator, a towering extraterrestrial hunter from a distant world, had come to Arvala-7 for its own reasons. Known for its honor in battle and relentless pursuit of prey, the predator wasn't here for trophies. It had been drawn by the planet's reputation as a haven for dangerous creatures and ruthless bounty hunters. The Mandalorian, with his deadly efficiency, had caught its attention. To the predator, Din Djarin was no ordinary man. He was prey, but also a potential challenge. Yet neither knew that a greater threat had already arrived. The Yuuzhan Vong, a nomadic and extragalactic species, were descending upon Arvala-7 in search of vengeance. Known for their brutal ways, living biotechnology, and a deep hatred of mechanical life, they had nearly destroyed the New Republic during their invasion of the galaxy. For the Yuuzhan Vong, honor lay in conquest and destruction, and the Mandalorian had earned their ire after slaughtering several high-ranking members of their clans. Now, dozens of Yuuzhan Vong warriors were coming for him, eager to claim his life in the name of vengeance. The stage was set. On this unforgiving desert world, three powerful forces would collide, and only the strongest would survive. The scene opens with the Mandalorian traversing a narrow canyon, his senses on high alert. His armor gleamed under the harsh sunlight, and the dirt crunched beneath his boots as he moved stealthily. His target, a notorious rebel, was close. But something felt off. His helmet's scanner picked up faint traces of movement in the distance, but there was no clear visual. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. A low hum reverberated across the desert. Djarin stopped in his tracks, turning his head toward the sky. Dark shadows descended from above, Yuuzhan Vong dropships. They're organic, living vessels unlike anything else in the galaxy. With a deafening roar, they released scores of Yuuzhan Vong warriors onto the surface, each clad in their horrifying bio-armor, carrying MP-staffs that writhed like living serpents. A lone warrior bound by a strict code, the Mandalorian is a man of few words but many actions. His Beskar armor protects him from blasters and lightsabers alike, while his arsenal, a blaster, a jetpack, a vibroblade, and a flamethrower, make him a formidable adversary. Behind the helmet, however, he is a man haunted by a past he rarely speaks of, driven by his duty as a bounty hunter and protector of the child. On Arvala-7, he's all business, hunting down bounties in the unforgiving landscape. But today, he's about to become the hunted. The Yuuzhan Vong attack with relentless fury, their serpentine weapons striking like vipers. Mandalorian fires back with precision, using his blaster to take down the first wave of warriors, but they keep coming, their biotech armor absorbing much of the damage. With a quick flick of his wrist, Mandalorian ignites his jetpack and propels himself into the air, dodging their attacks, raining down fire as he takes cover behind jagged rocks. These nomadic warriors are ruthless, their bodies scarred from ritual self-mutilation, which they believe brings them honor. Their biotechnology is far beyond what the galaxy has seen, with living armor and weapons that respond to their every command. Driven by a desire to conquer, they worship pain and death, believing that their gods demand the total eradication of mechanical life. The Mandalorians' prior actions against their clans have sparked a blood feud, and they have descended on Arvala-7 to claim his life in a ceremonial hunt. The battle seems endless, with wave after wave of Yuuzhan Vong pouring into the canyon. Din holds his own, his quick reflexes and strategic movements keeping him alive. But as he reloads his blaster, the air shifts again, this time accompanied by a sudden, violent explosion. A massive plasma bolt cuts through the Yuuzhan Vong ranks, followed by a terrifying roar. The assassin predator enters the battlefield, decloaking in a flash of electric light. Towering at over 7 feet tall, this predator is a beast of precision and brutal efficiency. Its dreadlocks sway in the desert breeze as it activates its wrist gauntlet, scanning the battlefield with its signature tri-laser targeting system. Unlike other predators, the assassin is larger and more cunning, bred for high-stakes hunts and combat against elite warriors. Its body is adorned with trophies from previous kills, and its black armor shines ominously. For this predator, the thrill of hunting the Mandalorian is irresistible, but it also recognizes the immediate threat posed by the Yuuzhan Vong. The predator charges into the fray, slicing through the Yuuzhan Vong with its wrist blades, effortlessly deflecting their bioweapons. Its plasma caster obliterates enemies from a distance, while its sheer strength crushes those who get too close. Din, watching from his cover, realizes he has no choice but to temporarily team up with this unexpected ally. Together, they form an unstoppable force. The Mandalorian's tactical precision and the Predator's raw power are perfectly synchronized. Blaster fire, plasma bolts, and alien roars fill the canyon as the Yuuzhan Vong forces are decimated. But more keep coming, dropping from the ships above, determined to overwhelm them. In a heart-pounding climax, Din and the Predator face off against the final wave of Yuuzhan Vong. As the last warrior falls, a tense silence settles over the battlefield. The two hunters, bloodied but victorious, exchange a silent nod, acknowledging each other's strength. But as Din turns to leave, his wrist scanner picks up a new signal, a fleet of Yuuzhan Vong living ships, larger than before, descending toward the planet. The Predator's gauntlet emits a sharp beep. Its sensors have detected the same thing. The sky darkens as the living ships blot out the sun. The Predator, now at a crossroads, contemplates its next move. Honor demands that it stays and fights, even against impossible odds. But its instincts tell it to survive for another hunt. The two hunters stand on the battlefield, the distant roar of the Yuuzhan Vong fleet growing louder. The Mandalorian uses the distraction to his advantage, jetpacking away into the canyons below, vanishing from sight. The Predator, realizing its prey has escaped, lets out a growl of frustration, but it turns its gaze skyward once more, weighing the risk. Should it stay and face certain death in the name of honor? Or should it live to fight another day? With a final look toward the oncoming fleet, the Predator activates its cloaking device, blending into the desert landscape. It retreats, knowing that this battle is far from over. As the Yuuzhan Vong fleet descends upon Arvala-7, the assassin Predator slips into the shadows, choosing survival over glory. It vanishes into the barren wasteland, awaiting its next hunt. The Mandalorian, far from the battlefield, finds refuge in a cave, his helmet scanning the horizon for danger. Both warriors know that this was only the beginning. The galaxy is vast and their paths will cross again. In the hunt, in the endless battle for survival, there is no final victory, only the next challenge. And somewhere, far above the burning sands of Arvala-7, the Yuuzhan Vong continue their relentless pursuit. The final shot lingers on the empty desert, where the echoes of battle fade into the wind.